consciousazine.com Chronicles. Alright, hello everyone. So, let's do this video. Just a sort of quick one because I don't want to go fully deep into everything because hey, you have the ability to Google for yourself. So, it's Benjamin Kalmberg here from www.consciousazine.com, this website here. And today we're going to talk about the 4 humours. Actually, that's interesting. Hot, dry, cold and wet. I don't think I saw that before or paid attention to it. Anyway. Oh, okay, so Hippocrates actually developed the theory of the 4 humours. So anyway, the yellow bile, the black bile. Yeah, look, this is not what I have researched previously, but that's interesting too. So Hippocrates has coined blood. However, today I was just going to go into the 4 humours as I know them. Yellow bile, the phlegm, the black bile. I don't know what they mean by the black and the yellow bile. Because so far as I know, the 4 humours are a 4 humoral immune system. So I'm just going to talk my knowledge on this and what I've been shown in my third eye and whatever. Okay, so the 4 humours, they're essentially a second immune system. It's not the cell-mediated immune system where the white blood cells are really in charge. And, well, not just that, but just your cells talking to each other, you know, in infrared and all whatever spectrums they talk to each other in. So the point is that I call it the down-facing immune system, and your cell-mediated immune system I call the upward-facing, and I mean upward dimensionally, inward, onward, and upward, you know, inside stuff and numinous light and all this stuff and dimensions. So the cell, you know, will force, you know, and we can develop nerve force and stuff, but this is pretty similar. It's your will. Now I say that's 10th dimensional. We're not going to go into dimensional theories, but your will force, you know, your will to do stuff. And that's got a large part to do with the cell-mediated immune system. In other words, it's a conscious immune system, and that's why I said it's upward-facing, because it runs off what you tell it. Like, you can talk to your cells, everything, you know. You can say, I'm going to fight this sickness, you know, etc. And so your cell-mediated immune system is kind of like a conscious immune system. But then there's this lower system, and it's very good to say that actually like in a lower way, because it sort of makes you realize the 3rd dimension compared to the 5th dimension and where your light body is. You know, the loop and warp of web, what we call sort of the 5th dimension, non-polarity and etc. Anyway, so the lower humours, you can see they're more unconscious, they're more involuntary. So the 4 humours, I don't know, I'm not going to go into that. As far as I learnt, it's the phlegm, the bile, okay, so these are the 4 humours. So that's why I'm just a bit confused. They must mean bile, and I don't know what they mean by black bile earth. Maybe we could go into it. So he's got elements associated with it and stuff, and temperament and all this. So anyway, the point is that I'm going to say it how I say it. I don't like this black and yellow bile business. It's phlegm, then it's bile, and it's blood, and then lymph. Now, I just want to search further into that. And it's just meant to be a quick video for you guys to just understand that this exists, and it's like sort of a connection. I mean, in a closed system fashion. You know, obviously the body is everything's connecting to everything, but you know what I mean. It's a system. When we say something is a system, we're talking about particularity and particular body parts and so on. And stuff. This was a good picture here. by not them guys, these guys, hopkinsmedicine.org. And just to show you how the gallbladder, because this is your bile, that's why I don't know why they're calling it yellow and black, or Hippocrates. I guess he just wanted to put it to the temperaments and the temperatures and the elements. But I'm going to talk about the four humours forever in my life, how I talk about them, how I've mentioned phlegm, lymph, blood, and bile. And I'm just putting the natural colours to them. You know, blood is like, well, you know, bluish purple to red. So, diagram of that and how that works, quick, simple. So the lymph system, you know, most people know about this, and it's 5 times larger than your blood. We call it the sewerage system. It's how things connect up. Now, this is really what needs to be cleaned to clean your eyes. And you know, when people go raw and vegan and stuff for certain periods and they change their eye color, that's very much associated with clearing the lymph for sure. And you'll see things build up in your eye. And if you have dry eyes, you need to be moving your face more and sort of doing facial massage exercises and stuff and clearing the energy and the meridians. See, the meridians would be a way to move your lymph, not just by moving your body, say surfing. You know, it's every action on the body when I'm surfing in the ocean is great. Actually can energetically move it too. Okay, and energetic movement would be, you know, clearing your and pushing energy through will create, you know, especially if you're grounded, a negative charge in the area, bring the water to that area that was blocked, and hence the lymph will run more appropriately, and it won't be all sort of statically positively charged. And you know how the blood coagulates when we're ungrounded? Same sort of thing in the lymph, because that's why I put grounding at the base of health, because it's like the base of everything. You need that there. You need to have negative charge and be barefoot on earth and ground. It's not just about getting a grounding mat either. That will neg charge you, and that's cool, but you won't get the cooling inner blue earth light. It's like a light blue earth light. Muntuk Chia knows all about that one. In his chi practices, you let the blue light come up your legs after you do the microcosmic orbit. So anyway, you know, this is another good little picture. Let's move on, because I want to talk more about, I want to talk about the phlegm more, because that's where I've got all my experience in spitting. The circulatory system. So I guess we don't have to go into this too much. This is like the most well-known thing in the body. The number one, you know, cause of death and dis-ease in the world seems to be to do with this system. And that's because all the animal proteins, which are not good for us, that's, you know, the stress, the electromagnetic waves, and the hertz from the computers, they hurt you, the hertz. And, you know, so on. There's many contributing factors, but I'm not really going to go into that. So the phlegm, where I wanted to sort of end this and sort of really make you realize that the phlegm is very, it's the underdog. It's very underpopularized because it's dirty spit phlegm. Well, that's not how I see it. Yeah, a little bit. It's crude. I spit, you know, I spit and so on. But I say better out than in. And what's wrong with that theory apart from, you know, offending your cultural so-called values, which I don't think are even virtuous anyway. You know, and we're not trying to, what are you trying to be? Are you trying to be, you know, Queen Victoria in the 1800s who would kill people for farting? So anyway, the phlegm is very under-talked about, underestimated. So this is where it all comes down to, and people might say, no, Ben, the lymph. There's way more lymph and this and that. Well, the thing is, the phlegm, if you notice, is the first thing touching the outside world. Yes, you see now why I wanted to really underdog, because Oh yeah, phlegm, inflammation, humour caused by heat, a liquid secreted by the mucous membranes of mammals. Yeah, the mucosa membrane and the phlegm. Look, it's the first thing that touches the world of air and oxidation and everything, all the radioactive particles, whatever is in your air. And yeah, we can get diseases that way, by the way. Pneumonia, respiratory diseases are like number 9 or number 8 causes of death in America at least, but almost probably globally. They'd be almost in the top 10, if not in the top 10. It's something like 40,000 people a year. So yes, you do get sick just from breathing dirty air. Now, I'm not going to have to go into water. Obviously, you can get sick from water. I mean, we're not going to talk about fluoride or anything, but we've got to realise that there's pathogens in water. That's why we treat water, obviously, blah, blah, blah. That's all obvious. But I just wanted to make you realise that the phlegm is interacting with the lowest part of the world, and so it seems to me a good idea to pay attention to that, because it's basically like your first barrier, like your skin touching the outside world, but then your mouth is open and, you know, immediately besides your skin, your phlegm is touching the outer world, or the lower dimensional, second dimensional plane, or whatever you want to call it. So the point is that I feel it's really the underdog, and I would like people to get over their, because what you really have is a boundary, and you know, the world, the universe is an evolving mechanism. So if you want to be at all part of the way, you kind of have to vectorize and line up. And what's that got to do with phlegm? Well, your boundaries and well, it's the end of history. We're learning all this. I don't imagine too many people have done too many lectures on phlegm, even though we could just have a quick about mucus, to clear throat, about phlegm, how to get rid of mucus in the lungs. Yeah, look, the Buddhists have a saying that up to 75% of the bacteria in the body can be removed via proper breathing techniques. Now, also, you can cough up your lungs, so to speak. You know, you can, like this video is probably going to show us how to get rid of mucus. Now, there's also things like CBD1 in cannabis, which interacts with the mucosa membrane, and you know, it sorts it out, and it relaxes your bronchi, your air tubes, and stuff like that as well. So it's important to note that there's interactions with the phlegm as well. What else do I want to say? I've noticed that you know, your phlegm can get very thick when you eat anything sugary. I'm not talking really fruit sugars. I've learnt a bit more about the fruit sugars. I think it's one of the things I did wrong in the past, actually, not taking enough fruit, which is weird because I've always liked fruit, and I just got the bad impression from high fructose corn syrup that fructose was not the best, but I've learnt more now. And actually bananas, for instance, don't even spike your blood sugar. So, sorry, I got off track there. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So yeah, things interact with the mucosa membrane, and especially like refined sugars and stuff. You know, like white sugar and all this. High fructose corn syrup, the sweeteners, the artificial flavors and colorings. All of these things seem to, in a negative way, make my phlegm thicker. Now, obviously, tea, and almost any tea, but there'll be specific teas like lemon myrtle is a really good one, olive leaf tea. Those will thin out your phlegm. You'll notice this after like a litre or two, and your phlegm's suddenly really a lot thinner. Now, don't forget that when you've got that thick phlegm that's in the back of your throat, that's going all the way down your stomach, and that's got to do with the parasites that are in your body as well. And, you know, they want their food. And so they actually can manipulate our taste buds and everything, and our phlegm. So this is what I'm wanting to put forth today, to focus more on one's phlegm And, you know, I'm not going to say focus less on the cell-mediated immune system, but I'm just trying to get the focus onto the four humours, because everybody's sick, and the way you're getting sick is not just via your apathetic will force in this sick world to not fight back. Most of you have that problem. You're inured to the matrix. Not just that, but the point is that it's that lower interacting with the lower world system, the humours. And everybody's sick, so thus it must have something to do with these four humours. And we know when we get on whole food, plant-based, sort of veganic style diets, we heal like everything. There's pretty much everything is arthritis, diabetes, cancer. You know, the number one cause, cardiovascular disease. All of this is healed just via fruits and vegetables. And so we know that then the opposite is also true. You're getting sick from possibly, you know, GMO fruits and vegetables, but also the opposite of fruits and vegetables, things like meat and processed stuff. You know, a lot of meat has all these dubious products. They even dye meat to make it look fresher. You don't know what's in there. It's not just like the muscle of some animal. There's lots of stuff in there, hormones and everything. So that's the point. You're interacting with that lower world, the meat in the supermarket, the this, the that, all the bad stuff in the world, the 70,000 toxins created since World War One, the 1,700 well-known, you know, bacteria pathogens. You're dealing with all of that via your humours first, because they're surrounding your cells. Well, not all the humours, but the phlegm, for instance. It's surrounding your cells, your epiphyseal cells. So this is the point I wanted to make today. We're in this lower world. Everyone's getting sick because of what they're eating. So it would make sense to look at your humours, not just your white blood cell count and so on, like the doctors show you. Okay, this was Shaman Dr. Cowenberg, a real doctor, over and out.